Here's what I did for meal prep as a mom of 4 this week. This week's Uncrustables were Nutella, which is kind of a treat in our house. But it was for good reason because we had a short week at school and then we were headed on vacation. I'm sure you can guess where we were going based on the Uncrustable cutter. And I thought this would be a fun way to have sandwiches in the car for the drive. As always, keep the crust. I put these in the freezer and then we grabbed a few out when we were ready to go. This container's perfect for storing them and I always use a water dissolving label so I know what's in them. I cut up all the extra crust and the butts of the bread, then I added some eggs, cheese, broccoli, and shredded chicken. These are admittedly not my kids' favorite crust cups, but they're a great way to get veggies in an easy dinner. I put these in the fridge and I actually baked them the next night because I had plans. Then for a very simple breakfast prep, one of our favorites is just doing Sheetpan pancakes. We typically use Kodiak cake pancake mix for the higher protein. Then I put sprinkles on one side, chocolate chips on the other, and we bake. These freeze perfectly and you can just throw in the microwave when you're ready to eat them. But because the initial plan was to drive in the morning, I put some in these little containers with syrup so they could eat them in the car for breakfast. The spot for the utensil makes it pretty all-in-one. Then for some lunch prep, I made some buffalo chicken wraps. My husband and younger son absolutely love these and they go through them so quickly. It's just a mixture of shredded chicken, cottage cheese, hot sauce, and some ranch powder. Then I grabbed the only tortillas we had in the house, which were a little bit small for my favorite wrap maker, but we made it work. Inside the center portion, you get a scoop of the mixture, then I add some cheese, then everything gets folded over and held with a toothpick. These are easy to heat up in the toaster oven, microwave, on the stovetop, or even eat cold. When my son takes them to school, he eats them cold and he really enjoys them. Oh, and look at this new way I found to store them. These are these little silicone pockets that fit perfectly, so we can literally grab them out and throw them in his lunchbox. And no, he doesn't mind the pink. Then for a healthier road trip snack, we made roasted chickpeas. This time for the seasoning, I used the same seasoning I put on my favorite oyster crackers, and these were so good. The key when you're making these is to make sure that you cook them until they're all the way done or they'll be just a little bit chewy. Once those were done, I put everything in this snackle box to get ready for the trip. This is one of my favorite things to use in the car because my kids can pass around the little containers easily, and it makes for easy sharing. Then for some little dip containers at school, we just did ranch and veggies, which if you followed for very long, you know that's kind of my norm. It's a higher protein ranch because I use cottage cheese with the ranch powder and my kids actually love it. Each container gets a scoop of the ranch and then some veggies. Then these are ready to be grabbed for school lunches, snacks, or to eat at home. Then one last recipe for the week was homemade granola. This is actually admittedly my husband's favorite thing I make, but it also makes for a really easy grab-and-go breakfast for my youngest. I put some of it into more of those silicone containers with a scoop of yogurt and she had little parfaits ready to go. Then the rest just went in a container to store in the fridge. Then I always try to end meal prep with an easy dinner, and this week it was zuppa toscana. This is hands down one of my favorite crockpot recipes because it's so easy and so delicious, but I did get a little heavy-handed with the red pepper for the rest of my family. Enjoy!